Hello, everyone. Mr. Schultz here as we dive into dividing polynomials. Maybe not for the last time, but for the last time for now. So, specifically, we're going to talk about synthetic division. So, it's an alternate method used to divide a polynomial by a degree of 1. The primary reason to learn synthetic division is to determine the roots or the zeros. Where does it smash into the ground? Basically, where does it hit the x-axis? So we'll need to figure out what the divisor, the root, the zero, the solution of the binomial that we will be dividing. We'll call that A. So let's call that A right here. So we're going to use synthetic division to find this guy. What is 3x cubed minus 2x squared minus 53x minus 60? All of that divided by the binomial x plus 3. Okay, well, let's go to the steps. First, determine what would cause the divisor, the binomial dividing into the polynomial, to equal 0 in the box. Let's call this A. Write the coefficients of the dividend. So first up, we're going to put this like right here and go, hey, look, right here. We're going to put negative 3 because, watch this, x plus 3 equals 0. The negative 3 would make this 0. So now it says write the coefficients of the dividend, the number being divided across. Make sure to put 0 if a term is missing. So we start with x cubed, and so the coefficient is 3. The next one would be x squared, and it's negative 2. The next one would be x, and it's there, and it's negative 53. And finally, the next term is 0, which would be negative 60. Okay, so it kind of looks like a weird looking division. This is what it should look like at the moment. Okay, it says bring the first coefficient down. Okay, so I'm going to copy and paste this and bring it down. All right, guys, you're still with me? We did step 1, we wrote it out. Now we did step 2, bring the first coefficient down. Now we're going to multiply by A and write the product underneath the next term. So negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Now I'm going to add the product and the coefficient. Okay, what's 2 plus 9? 11. But what's negative 2 plus negative 9? Negative 11. And then it says repeat steps 3 and 4 until we reach the sum in the last column. Okay, negative 3 times negative 11 is 33. If we add these together, we get negative 20. Negative 3 times negative 20 is 60. And we get 0. Wait a second here. Let's check our answer. So going back, if we use long division on this is what we get. Look at what we got right here. So this synthetic division right here saves us some time and all this work. We just have to understand, what are we figuring out here? So I'm going to circle it in blue. We are figuring out our coefficients. So I'm going to erase this long division, and then we're going to rewrite it. All right, guys. So what we're doing is we're taking this polynomial, and when we divide it by like x cubed, when we divide x cubed by x, it's going to give us x squared. So these right here are all the coefficients, but we just have to make sure that we write it out. So if it's going to start at x cubed, if we divide by this, like the x plus 3 right here, it's going to take out a power of the x. And so we're going to be left with 3x squared. Instead of cubed, it's now going to be 3x squared minus 11x minus 20 with a remainder of 0. Wait, if it's a remainder of 0, hey, 0 divided by anything, oh, it's just 0. That's it. Let's go on to the next one. So go ahead and use synthetic division on this. Pause it. I want you to try it. Because seriously, this is a check. This is going to be important for your quiz, okay? So try it yourself in 3, 2, 1. There we go. So here's my work. Remember, hey, look, you have to make sure that you have all the degrees, starting with cubed, squared, then x to the first power. Make sure you fill them in. That might have been a trick. So if I divide this out, I get 2x squared minus x plus 3 with a remainder of 0. So I just leave it blank. All right, guys, let's go on to the last final one. So what if we have a remainder? So let's set ourselves up. All right, guys, so I set it up. I set up my synthetic division. To get the x plus 1 to make it equal to 0 would be negative 1. So negative 1, and then I have 3, 0, because there's no x squares, 5, and negative 1. Then I bring it down, then I multiply, bring it, add, multiply to the a right there. And so I repeat until I get to the end. Now this part should be 0, but it's not. So I'm going to be left with 3x squared minus 3x plus 8. And then I'm going to have this remainder of negative 9. So what could it be? Well, it's going to be negative 9 divided by x plus 1. So I'm going to have this plus negative 9 plus divided by x plus 1. That's it. All right, guys. One final check. Or no, one final example before we go on. So we still have to figure out what makes the divisor 0. So I'm going to pretend 2x minus 1 is equal to 0 and solve for x. It's going to be 1/2. Or it should be. Half of 2 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. There we go. Now all I have to do is I just have to figure out what do I need to do. So I'm going to put my a right here, and I'm going to write out a dividend. I have this x cubed, so I'm going to have x cubed, x squared, x, and hopefully my coefficient right there, or my constant. So I know I have a 4, I have a negative 8 for there, a negative 1, because it's implied 1, and I have a 5 right here. Now I'm going to bring down the first one, and now I'm going to multiply. Half of 4 is 2. And if I add them together, I get negative 6. And half of negative 6 is negative 3. And if I add negative 1 plus negative 3, I'm going to get negative 4. And then half of negative 4 is negative 2. And then if I add, now here's the remainder. 5 minus 2 is 3. So now I'm going to have 4x squared, because it's, I'm factoring out an x1 to the first power, minus 6x minus 4. And I'm left with a remainder of 3. So I'm going to have 3. I'm going to add 3 divided by 2x plus 1. Or not plus, minus. So here's my solution. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys in class. Bye.